You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Los Angeles Rams defeated the Chicago Bears on the road 2017 in overtime. What did the Bears prove to you this season when evaluating Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson? What chance do you give the Rams to beat the Seahawks on the road to make their second Super Bowl appearance in 6 years? And a quick fun fact, the Bears went 3 for 10 on fourth down attempts in this year's playoffs, and Caleb Williams threw 5 interceptions in his first 2 playoff games. 3 for 10 on fourth down attempts. 30%.
That's average.
The attempts is egregious, King. Lou. You went
Lou,
for 10
come
times
on.
and you only got 3.
It's not baseball, Lou.
Average. 3 out of 10
Lou, it's
is
not
30.
baseball.
I'm looking at it like baseball.
It's not baseball.
This ain't just, hey, this ain't you
30% from 3. That's okay.
Bro, this ain't your test scores, Lou.
I was gonna say, Lou, this ain't an Atlanta strip club where you talk to 10 biddies, you get 3
get 3 out of 10.
That's a win. This ain't that.
That's a hell of a win, show.
That ain't this.
This ain't that.
Got 3 out of the 10. What?
Man, for me, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams proved that they belong. They surprised a lot of people this year. The good there's upside and downside to everything. The upside is you prove that you got a base to work with. When it started out, it seemed kind of rocky when you had the reports from camp. They were saying he was missing throws and like he wasn't playing that well, according to the rumors in camp. But he came out and he got hot this season. Now this offseason should be focused on paying attention to turnovers. You don't have to cut back on the wild plays all the way, but he does have to taper it back and just be a natural quarterback. Just do what's best and make sure you protect the football. That's what's the biggest thing that he needs to work on with Ben Johnson more than anything is protecting the football. You had a great season. The other bad part of this is you won't sneak up on anybody next year. You got Green Bay coming back after you. You know what I'm saying? The Lions are coming back after you. But you got a base to work with, and they proved that they can work together pretty good. So you just build off that and go from there.
Shelton, I don't disagree. I do think that the one thing that they have to work on is the layups, the easy plays, because Ben Johnson has schemed up a lot of easy stuff that Caleb, just for whatever reason, has missed, right? And then I think a consistent high level 4 quarters or 3.5 quarters worth of play, because we see that when they turn it up, it's like, oh, this looks dominant, right? Like Caleb isn't just hitting the wild plays. He is hitting the alley-oops. He is hitting the dinks and dunks, and then the running backs like Manungai, and then you got Swift. Like it all starts to go, and it's like, oh, like this looks legit. But they got to play for 4 quarters. I think that's the biggest thing. My biggest takeaway was Caleb is clutch, man. Like I think out of any ability that you want that a quarterback has, like height, arm talent, all this, what is clutch. Like I need my guy that when the lights is the brightest and we can tie for 3 or we could win with a touchdown, I want the ball in his hands. And that's the biggest thing I took away from this season. I think we all knew that Caleb coming in, levels of generational, was being thrown out there. But I think the thing that we all take away is like, well, shit, if he has the ball last, they have a very good chance of winning. Regardless of how it looks, regardless of how crazy that last one he threw to Cole Kmet was, it's like, shit, he's throwing it. They got a chance, bro. Like he got that Aaron Rodgers thing about him where it's just like, well, damn, he's a lot of different quarterbacks that we've seen. And, I just want to see him grow from this, because what we saw his first year under the other head coach, you already know about with Eberflus, what we saw under that versus what we see under Ben Johnson is 2 completely different guys. So if next year he could take and grow and be more consistent throughout the course of the game, I think the Bears are there. And I do agree with you, Shelton, as well. They're not going to sneak up on nobody. Like teams are going to try to bury them early, no pun intended, so that way that they they don't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to take teams' best shots from the beginning of the game. So they have to be ready for that. I think this, though, from a personnel standpoint, they got to get better on defense. I think offense, they're fine. They drafted Loveland. They drafted Luther Burden. They already had Roma Dunze. They got DJ Moore. They got Swift. They want to go get another running back. Okay, I'm cool with that. And the O-line, they already shored that up. The defense needs to be addressed because even though they were opportunistic, I think they had the most takeaways out of any defense in the league this season. You got to be able to stop the run when you got to be stout. And to me, they're not stout enough.
I think these last 2 weeks have shown the hype around Caleb. Like, if you hadn't seen it before then, if you didn't watch him at USC and you're like wondering why people were so up in arms about him, you see him these last 2 weeks, like, oh, okay, I see it. This might be different. From the launch play, the last play of the game that he threw to just last week even coming back, you understand that, he may be generational talent. I still think that there's some things that he and Ben Johnson need to work to. I'm glad they got to experience this deep of a playoff one. That way they can learn from it. I think it's going to be even better next year. I agree with FIFO, you and Sheldon is saying, you're going to get people's best shot next year because Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams made people believers this year. And next year, they're not going to go into it with, we letting them come back. We don't believe us. Caleb, he paints his nails. Like, all that bullshit, it's over with. Like, when you were watching that game and you seen him throw that pass to the tight end to tie the game up, you thought, like, I might be watching something. He might be a dude. We might be looking at a new era of, okay, he that dude. Like, it crossed your mind for a little bit, but then he make that play like
until
he
when?
DJ Moore. Until you make you got to my point there. Until you get that DJ Moore play, and you're like, oh no, why did you do that? Just throw it to the flat, bro. Y'all need the field goal. Go win the game. Don't try to be special right now. We seen you special with the last pass, but they continuously, him and Ben Johnson suffer with this. They outdo themselves. They don't take what's right in front of them. I got to show that I'm smarter than you. And like someone said in the chat, like when Ben Johnson ran the reverse Jameson play last year with a receiver throwing the ball and like that. No, just go win the game. We don't want to see the tricks and the gadgets right now. Same thing with Caleb right here. When Caleb was throwing that ball to DJ Moore, he probably would him and the cornerback were two of the only people on the field that saw what he saw. Because DJ Moore was clearly not in the play and didn't think that he had a chance to get to it. But Caleb seen if he's running his hard as he does, like he does this in practice, if I throw it right here and he fight for the ball, that's a play. We in field goal range off of one play. We're going to win this thing. And DJ Moore wasn't thinking about it like that because he ain't the football player that Caleb Williams is. And he's not. Caleb Williams is a special football player. You can tell now. It ain't up to grabs. You can tell he's a special football player. And Colin Cowherd said this. He was like, bro, this is the first time that the Bears have a special person, a quarterback. He's like the kid in the classroom that can't tie his shoes, but he can go play Mozart at 6 years old. He has a special talent to him. But you just gotta refine that shit.
Let's go. You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at Vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
And Ben Johnson still working on refining this shit. So,
before you go, Nick, yes, Caleb has been clutch, but why has Caleb had to be clutch?
Thank you.
Because you're in that position. How do you get in that position? So it's great that he can do that, but you got to find ways to not be in that spot. And the interceptions is a very, very critical fun fact. It's not fun for them because he threw five in the playoffs. He threw 7 total in the regular season. That's a huge difference. So again, you cut those turnovers down, especially that last one, where I think that's Caleb and Ben Johnson, as I said earlier, their arrogance about, I'm going to make my moment. Bro, you just had a moment. You kick that field goal, that moment is in playoff history. but you didn't. Y'all let Nas down and y'all messed up. You had to win the game to cement it. And right now it's just the what if moment. It's like I said in the chat, man, this season has been great, but, and you guys already talked about it. I don't want to, remix it, but next year going to be different, man. And the one thing I want to see from Caleb is he just has to play smarter football. And because that highlight, all that shit ain't gonna last, man. That shit, they gonna take all that shit away, bro. That shit's fluky at times. This is the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
This is the NFL, and we didn't think that shit was gonna work in the NFL.
The shit he do, you can't take away because it's just special, bro. You can't coach it. You can't like he just gonna do it, bro.
Well, FIFO, you're right about that, but I call it clutchish because it ain't completely clutch. Because if you do something spectacular one play and then make a bonehead play 2 seconds later, what good does it do? And those spectacular plays he's making, Ken is right. That stuff is not going to last. You're gonna try to do something that looked great overall, but it not work out for you like it did this year. He had a lot of things on his side this year work out in his favor that won't work out next time.
But that's what's
special. You know, I know being a quarterback, you have to make really quick decisions. But did he not see how DJ Moore was running on that route? Did he not see he was kind of coasting? He just be a little bit smarter about the football. Look, I was one of the few on the panel outside of FIFO that was like, you know what, I'm not out on Caleb. You know, last year when everybody was tearing him down, you know, across the league and everywhere, I was like, I'm not out on him. You know, and he's been better this year. He got a guy that could coach him. I like what I'm seeing. I want to see it again next year and see the growth that we expect to see, because now no more excuses, bro. You got a coach. You went to the playoffs, learn from it, and be better.
First and foremost, I want to give respect to the city of Chicago. Y'all got a quarterback. Y'all got a head coach. And I'm glad that y'all are able to at least, experience playoff success at a different level. Because, I mean, as much shit as I talk about the teams that I, critique, I do like seeing cities. Being from Cincinnati myself and seeing a playoff run in my lifetime, it does do something for the city when you haven't seen any success like that. So I do want to give a shout out to them for having a great season, because I think the Bears season was a great season overall. But if we're talking about the playoffs, and I brought this up last week and nobody wanted to really hear me because they won, but I said don't celebrate stuff in a win that you wouldn't celebrate in a loss. And Ben Johnson and Caleb did the same thing. You talked about remixing, Ken. They did the same remix last week against the Packers and this week, where you're throwing picks in the red zone and you're going for it on fourth down, leaving points on the board, when they could have easily won this game based off the field goals that they could have kicked. Especially, and those was gimme field goals, not like gimme field goals like from the 30 or the 40, but like, nigga, you in the on the 10 and 15. Like, you can't miss that unless you just got a goofball as a kicker. The play that Caleb made, probably one of the greatest throws that I've ever seen, because he went back 15 yards and threw it.
He was
40.
Yeah,
like, and that's. I think the corners were surprised. They're like, hold on, that ball is that accurate?
Like, it's close.
Like, it's close. Hold on.
They were surprised he threw it.
Did he really? I don't think they were surprised he threw it. I think they thought like, oh, he throwing up a duck. And then they looked up and they kept looking like, hold on, nigga, he actually might be catch that. He got it. But then it's like Ken said, situational football. And this is his first playoff run, so you can't critique him that bad. But he threw up 2 other picks that I can critique. That's what I'm saying. Like, the one that everybody focused on, DJ Moore should have ran his route. I'm like, that's fine. But those other interceptions played a factor in this game too. This game really should have been 17-10, ended in regulation. But because of who he is as a talent, it makes it makes everything look like, okay, like you said, Ken. I can't wait for next season, because this is what I said and others said about the Commanders last season. Was that I can't wait for the next season because they're going to build on top of this. But then, like you said, Ken, you don't know what the fuck is going to happen next season.
Well,
and
hold on,
this-
real quick. Now, let me just interject real quick because I told y'all that I was who's that OC? The Commanders that just bounced the white man,
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury. I told y'all he was the question mark, and he didn't build on from what we saw the year before, and the teams caught up.
But he got hurt too.
No, he got hurt too.
That's still the point, though, is that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened.
But to y'all point, it looked like it with Jalen too. It looks like it with Caleb now.
And my thing is with Caleb, it's like people keep on saying, "Oh, we can coach these little things out of him. We can do this, we can do that." And with Ben Johnson, and I'm like, I'm at this point. I got to see it to believe it because he has come a long way, but his completion percentage is still ass. It was ass in this game. Obviously the turnovers is trash, and then situational football is like, come on, bro, like you don't like, even if like Ken said, even if DJ Moore is supposed to make it on that route, you still probably had you could have just threw the ball away at the worst case scenario, give yourself another down because you were driving to win. The Rams wasn't doing shit with the ball. They punted it back to you, and it was like the next score wins. So it's just like, bro, you could take your time. You don't have to go for the gusto, and you're at home.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think that, again, Ben Johnson did he surprised me with his coaching job this season. But like Shelton said, bro, they had a lot of shit go their way. And granted, last year they had a lot of shit go against them. So that's how the football gods are. They'll even things out. But the path to the Super Bowl ain't going to be no more easier than this. This is probably a wasted opportunity when you think about it, because granted, you could say that they weren't going to beat the Seahawks, but you was going to go into that game saying they got the better quarterback, and arguably the head coaches kind of nix each other out. And the way that the Bears defense played that second half, just like how they played that second half against Green Bay, they was playing like a top 10 defense. You know what I'm saying? And that's with Puka Nacua, Devontae Smith having to pull out their best bag to win the game. So I want to just give credit to the Sean McVay and the Rams. Sean McVay damn near lost this game too, but they won the game at the end, and they got that fat mug. That's the fattest kicker I've ever seen. I thought it was an offensive line.
His nickname is, I can't remember his nickname, but it's something dealing with being fat.
What's the nigga name from Nutty Professor? What was his name? Sherman.
Professor Clump.
Sherman was on that goddamn kicking them kicks. He was clutch though, because he made a couple kicks that I didn't think he was gonna make. But I can't wait for this next game against the Rams Seahawks Part 3.
You can't wait for that?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I think that's gonna be the. I mean, you want me to? You asking me? Can I wait for the Rams Seahawks versus the Broncos Pats? That's gonna be
this whole weekend is going down the drain.
Just throw the whole weekend away.
Better. Yeah, this weekend would have been better if we had the Texans and the Bears in.
I ain't going that far.
You would have.
Well, that is it.
Let's go. You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.